Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, welcome back to our new lecture for the chapter journal in the book of accounting for class 9, 10 and also for 11 business studies group students. Today I am going to solve some transactions for journalizing. I think you are ready to take my speech and instruction. So dear learners, at first you have to take your accounting copy for following my lecture. Dear students, today I have given 15 transactions for journalizing. At first you have to write in your copy for this transaction, totally 15 transactions. The name of it, very important journal entries for class 9, 10 and 11 business studies group. I think you are writing all transactions. Totally 5 columns available in general journal format. Number 1, date. Second one, account title and explanation. Third one, ledger value. Fourth one, debit taka, and fifth one, credit taka. Okay, I am going to start solving these journal entries. Number 1, personal expenses paid for owner from business. From the previous lessons, you have understood when any amount taken or withdrawn or drawn by owner from the business, or any amount of personal expenses paid from business for owner, then it is indicated as drawings. So for this transaction, 2 accounts are involved. Drawings account, another one, cash account. You know that when equity decreased, then the respective equity account is debit and cash has gone from the business, so asset account is credit. For the first transaction you can write in your answering copy, drawings account debit, cash account credit, amount of 5,000. You can see the next slide, drawings account debit, cash account credit. To be given a short explanation in this way, to record personal expenses of owner. I think you have written in your copy. Again, go back to second transaction, calculator or stapler purchased. Calculator, stapler, these items are related to supplies, that is office supplies, not related to stationery. Again I am repeat, when calculator, stapler or wall clock machine or punch machine purchased, then it is related to office supplies account. For this transaction, you have to write for determining debit and credit, also for journal, office supplies account debit, cash account credit. For taka 3,000. Okay, you can match with the answer in next page. Office supplies account debit, cash account credit to record office supplies. Again, go back to the transaction number 3. Goods returned from Ahnaf. Return from. This is another name of sales return. It may be alternative. Return from customer, return from debtors. So when sales return from customer, then it is sales return. When income increase, then income credit, but in this transaction income is decreased, so sales return account is debit from customer, that is the receivable, that is accounts receivable or debtors account. For this transaction you can write sales return account debit accounts receivable, that is Ahnaf or debtors credit. Okay, you can see in the slide, sales return account debit account receivable, that is Ahnaf credit. Short explanation to record sales return. Now you can go again, number 4, check issued to Fahim. That is a check is given to Fahim, that is creditors are payable. When cash given, then cash account credit. In this moment check issued or check given. For this transaction bank balance decreased, so bank account is credit, but which account is debit? Paid to Fahim or issued to Fahim, given to Fahim. Fahim is our creditor, that is payable amount. In this transaction payable or liability account is decreased, so you can write accounts payable or creditors, that is Fahim account debit, bank account credit. You can see in the next slide, accounts payable Fahim debit, bank account credit. Short explanation to record check issued. Okay, transaction number 5, opened a savings or current account into trust bank. An account opened into any bank, then account opened, that is balance increases of account. So when bank balance increase, then bank account debit. For depositing money, cash decreased from business, so cash account is credit. For this transaction you can write bank account debit, cash account credit. Number 6, electricity bill unpaid or due. If electricity bill paid, then you are written utility expenses debit, cash account credit. But in this transaction this bill is unpaid or due or outstanding, so it has to pay in future to the payable or creditors. In all time, when electricity bill, telephone bill or gas bill paid, then it is related to utility bill. So you can write for this transaction utility bill expenses debit, electricity bill payable credit. For unpaid amount, now you can see in the next slide, utility expense debit, utility payable credit, amount taka 2000. You can write explanation utility bill unpaid or due. Okay, number 7, goods returned to Hassan. The transaction number 3, return from, that is sales return. So at this moment return to, it must purchase return, that is another name return outward or return to supplier, return to creditors. When expense increase, then expense account debit, but in this transaction expense from goods purchase decreased. For this transaction accounts payable, that is creditors in the name of Hassan debit, and return outward or purchase return credit. Here given totally 15 transactions. All transactions are very important for you, class 9, 10 and 11 business studies, for your betterment. You have to practice more and more. Otherwise you have to fall in problem in different types of maths. So follow my instruction speech attentively and practice properly. Now, number 8, discount allowed, discount paid, discount allowed to customer. What is discount? Discount is the deducting amount or reducing amount. But in this transaction, discount allowed to customer. When receiving money from the debtors, then the seller is giving a rebate, that is called discount. In this transaction, discount allowed is one kind of expenses for business. So discount expense debit, accounts receivable, that is debtors account credit. You can see the answer in the next slide. Discount expense debit, account receivable credit. In this transaction, debtors account credit may be written to record discount paid. Okay, another one, additional cash brought by owner in business. From the chapter number 2, that is transaction. This type of transactions you have learned and several times. When owner cash brought or cash invested or started business with different types of things or property, then indicated as asset and equity. In this transaction, cash brought, so cash increased in business, so cash account is debit, and this amount invested by owner. When owner brought or invested amount in business, then indicated as capital. So you can write cash account debit, capital account credit. Dear learners, I think you are writing properly. And following me. Okay, next one, 10, interest allowed by bank or interest given by bank. Interest allowed, that is one kind of revenue in this transaction by bank. When bank given interest, then business bank account is increased. When bank increase, that is asset increase. So bank account is debit for this transaction and interest revenue. Revenue account credit. So you can write in a hurry. Bank account debit, interest revenue account credit. Next one, bad debt written up. It is a new transaction for you. Bad debt written up. It's another language, uncollectible debt. It means irrecoverable amounts from customer or debtor. Irrecoverable, that is not recoverable. So it is one kind of loss, that is expenses for business from customer. Who is customer? Our account receivable or debtors account is related to customer. In this transaction, expense increase and asset decrease. But how to write for journalizing this entry? Okay, write down your copy correctly. Provision for bad debt account debit, accounts receivable credit. I'm telling again, provision for bad debt debit, accounts receivable credit. Provision for bad debt debit, accounts receivable credit, or debtors credit. I think you have written your copy correct way. Okay, next one, sold old sofa set. Sofa set is one kind of furniture, I think you know, but it is sold. When furniture purchase, then furniture account is debit and cash account credit. But in this transaction, sold sofa set, so it is the opposite of furniture purchase. So how to write? It is very easy way to write for journalizing. Cash account debit, furniture account credit for taka 5,000 to be given. Short explanation to record old sofa set sold. You can match your answer. Okay, number 12, cash account debit, furniture account credit for taka 5,000. Okay, please go back to the question. (13) Due from bank for personal use. Again, personal use. Who is this person? It's 100% owner or proprietor. When proprietor or owner is taken or drawn, withdrawn from business or from bank, then it is related to drawings. In this transaction, you have to write at first drawings account debit, but which account is credit? Due from business, no, it's due from bank. So cash is not written at this moment. You have write drawings account debit, bank account credit for taka 3,000. Again, short explanation to be given to record due from bank for personal use. Dear learners, next one, 14, took loan from DBH. DBS means Delta Brack Housing, one kind of financing institution. They're given loan to any firm for requirement. Okay, loan taken, it is the fact for this transaction. And loan taken, asset increase, another one liability increase. Which asset increased? Cash increased, and liability loan increased. Okay, you can write in this transaction cash account debit, loan account credit. Dear learners, this is the last one. 15, lease assets written off. It's like as depreciation charged on tangible fixed asset, but lease asset written off is charged on intangible or invisible assets. So written off is one kind of loss, that is expenses on which asset? Lease asset. Now you can write for this transaction first debit and credit, written off or amortization expenses debit, lease assets credit. Dear boys and girls, you can match with the answer. Lease written off account debit, lease assets account credit for taka 7,000. And this is the last total of debit and credit, 1,62,500 in debit and 1,62,500 credit. You know that from the principles of double entry system, total of debit amount is to be equal to total of credit amount. Dear students, this is the lecture for only journal entries, that is the general journal entries. I think you have understood from this lesson in all journals, but you have to practice a lot of in your home. Okay, that's for being today. Allah Hafiz. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.